Well, well, well. Another beautiful day out on the range. Got the place to myself, which I like a lot. Gonna be playing at 10 yards and 25 yards today. Figure I'm gonna use the Glock at 10 yards here, and at 25, use the AR. Try some standing. Also just created some of my own silhouette targets that I'm interested in seeing how they do. At 10 yards looks great. 25, not so much. A little difficult to make out. Give you a shot of that. 10, little light. Difficult to see the lines, but that's what you got. And then out there at 25, really difficult to see that, but that's alright. It's a learning experience. That's what we're going to be doing today. One of the things that surprises me, that I hear this a lot online, I hear it from, well, obviously people that don't know much about guns. In fact, the funniest thing I've heard recently was that even the sight of guns can make people violent or aggressive. And that is so funny to me. I mean, so funny. That it's kind of like saying, forks and knives make people violent because they're sharp. Someone could stab someone. It's just so wild to me watching this stuff go down, because it's apparent to me that we like fighting the effects. We could give a shit less about the cause of violence and all this stuff. We could care less. What we're interested in is fighting the effects, which is, of course, why we have war on poverty, war on drugs, war on terrorism. It's a war on the effects of things, because we never address the cause. I guess there's no money in fighting the cause, but there's damn sure a lot of money to be made in having a war on the effects. Of course, the new war on guns is, in my opinion, not just about, it's not about keeping people safe at all. It's the last thing it's concerned with. Of course, it looks to me just like what the UN says. It is about the United Nations Office of Disarmament Affairs. I asked some guy last night on Twitter in London, because I noticed a lot of people in the UK are so up on fighting US gun laws. Now, I want to know, if you live in the UK, drop me a message, drop me a comment below. Let me know, what is it that inspires you to be so concerned? Why do you give two shits about American gun laws? I couldn't even tell you the laws in the UK. You know why? Because I don't live in the UK. And frankly, I don't care. That's for you all to deal with. I cannot imagine someone sitting in London and with every breath, their motive and intent and the agenda they're pushing online, mostly on Twitter, is against U.S. gun laws. Now, why would you do that? Why do you care? Do you really, or is there someone sitting around that's concerned for their safety because someone 8,000 miles away has a gun? What is going through your head? I want to know. I really want to know, because I don't believe you, actually. I don't believe that you have any concerns at all. What I think is that you're following the UN Small Arms Treaty agenda, which of course is to disarm anyone with a gun, anywhere, all small arms. That's, if you go, I'll drop a link below, you can go look at it for yourself, read the whole stupid thing, but the bottom line is, even in their own language, the United Nations Office for Disarmament Affairs. And I asked one of these people in London who was giving me some, trying to educate me about guns. It's funny because someone who lives in a country that supposedly doesn't even have guns, probably never shot one, he's going to tell me all about it. That's just so brilliant, you know? That makes a lot of sense to me. That would be like me knowing absolutely nothing about auto mechanics, because I don't. That would be like me coming to you and saying, hey, you know, I think that flat tire is the reason your car won't start. Or you're out of blinker fluid, you're out of turn signal fluid, and that's what's causing that puddle underneath your car. Now, someone who knows anything about cars is listening to that bullshit going, this makes no sense. This is so far away from correct, there's no way to even get it close. And so if you don't know anything about firearms, the last thing you should be telling people like me is something about firearms. You know, just think about it. Like I said, check out that link below, because the United Nations Office for Disarmament. Oh, yeah, I was talking to this guy in London, and I asked him, he's wanting to play the rhetoric game with me, and he's wanting to go around and round and lawyer talk and all this stuff. And I asked him, just answer me a yes or no question. With a yes or no, if you're capable. I said, is the United Nations Office for Disarmament, Affairs, is that about disarming gun owners? And he went on and on, right on it, buddy, just like a lawyer. Well, no, of course it doesn't mean that. It just means for terrorists and this and blah, blah, blah. And he starts copy-pasting all this shit off the website. What do you think the word disarmament means? Look that up. If you don't know what the word disarmament means, look it up. And tell me that the United Nations doesn't have an agenda called the Small Arms Treaty to disarm anyone with small arms. Small arms aren't tanks, by the way, or missiles or anything. They're handguns. They're rifles. They're, weapons. So when the United Nations is brazen enough to call it the United Nations Office for Disarmament Affairs, you can't come at me with any degree of logic or sense and tell me that it's not about disarming people with small arms. It's just idiotic. And yet the fact that there's people who are so either brainwashed or, more likely, they're just on the agenda. They're pitching that agenda. I'm not saying they're all on the payroll, getting paid to, go out and puke this stuff, though some of them are. Most of them are just actually so stupid. There's no other word to use. They're just so stupid that they believe the propaganda, and therefore they're out there shilling it, pushing it every single day. And the sad part is you ain't even getting paid to do it. You're just vomiting an agenda, pushing an agenda on people. That's just so funny to me. Yeah. Anyway, check out that link below. Let me know what you think. 25 yards with the Glock. Here we go. Hmm, 25 yards with the Glock. Pulling a little to the left. It's 25 yards. What am I gonna do? Practice. Now we got 25 yards, only the game is we'll be doing some standing with the AR. Only got 20 rounds loaded, so we're going to put 10 on each and see how we work. Technically this is the pistol range, and well, this is a rifle, so shh. I'm not so good with rules. Next target. Now remember what I said before, 20 rounds. Gonna call 3 of them a miss. The other 17 are right there. Yeah. 25 yards, standing. Yeah, I like it.